PUBG is a game that needs at least 100 players in the ground. This game has certain rules and objectives that needed to be achieved by the player. The player will land on the ground after diving from the plane. The player will require a weapon to combat with other players, and the player will land without a shirt and pants. Later on, the player will need to collect all the equipments and needed accessories throughout his journey in the game. And the last one to stay from the 100 players in the game win by getting reward. The story of this game started when Brandon Green, the founder of Players Unknown Battleground, moved from Brazil from Ireland, who works as a photographer and developer. And he was the person behind the game Battle Royale. This game PUBG was developed on 2016 and was released a year later. It was a successful release on March 23, 2007, and this game went for tournaments around all the world. This game simply drops down 100 unknown players on a map location where we will have to compete for the last one that stands in the game wins. At the beginning of the game, the player will be only covered with a frying pan that only against bullet penetration. Later he will act to look around for weapons and items to defend and attack his enemy. This game actually uses PHP JavaScript to be built and also Unreal Engine 4. Unreal Engine 4, which was brought by the Epic Games, was released in 2014. And this engine uses 3D application as the builder. As for the camera view, it uses visual camera plugin that consists of 4 types of settings, which is aperture, focal length, focal distance, and stabilization. It was also built using different programs, which was C++, a Java use script. Counter-Strike Global Offensive is a multiplayer first game launched on 2012. This game consists of 2 teams, which is terrorists and the counter officers. The limit player in a team is around 36 players, and this team considered win when the points is more than the other team. Before the game starts, the player can choose the location of the game and buy equipments and the weapons before the time is freeze for a few seconds. The player will need to shoot down the opponent, whereas the officers will need to defuse the explosive planted by the terrorist team. This game has a time limit for each game. The start might be around 5 minutes. This first Counter-Strike was launched in 1999, and this game requires strategy and planning on ways to take down the enemies. Until now, the game has evolved around adding more location and preference to the game. Counter-Strike doesn't have a storyboard for a narrative for it. Instead, this game is a direct gameplay, which the players only know when there is an opponent team that needs to be defeated. The game platforms are available on personal computer, Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. The price of this game costs around $12. The game engine used for this game is known as Source, which is a 3D video game engine brought by Valve Corporation. The supportive Java language is C++, and this game enables to use both, which is language test by gameplay and tools, and to assist the player, the game is installed with map to each the players to track the opponent. This Counter-Strike Global Offensive is a game that requires user sense such as hand, eye and ears. This game uses controls of keyboard, mouse and speakers. Review from players who were an old version of this game agreed that this game has evolved over the years. Counter-Strike has now different locations and weapons that enables players to choose variation. Besides, the sound and graphic qualities of the game are much better compared to the old version. Below is the comparison pictures between the old and the new version of the game, can be seen through the video.
Hi, my name is Chua, and now I will review the third top grossing PC game in April 2018, which is Crossfire. Crossfire is a first-person shooting game that developed by Smilegate Entertainment that launched on year 2007 and have more than 660 million active players in the world. The story of the game is basically 2 forces, which is Blacklist and Globalist, that have different worldview, engage and fighting each other for their own justice. Crossfire have several game mechanics, included mobility, scoring system, role-playing, game modes and others, as players could control characters in the game, perform action to achieve several objectives and goals of the game. Other than that, game technology that implemented by Crossfire is Detect Jupiter X game machine, which is famous in improved real-world physics specialized for first-person shooting game. Lastly, the game aesthetic, which is how the game performs in graphics. Game aesthetic of Crossfire is excellent, as it uses game machine which is lead tech Jupiter X that have improved real-world physics and makes the game look more realistic.